Hello, this is BJ from Hearns Hobbies. Just remember, if you like our video content, please give us a like on the bottom of the video. And if you like all of our content, please think about subscribing. So after all that, let's have a closer look at this. So this is a pretty simple little thing I'm going to be looking at today. This is actually the detail up parts, which are for the Tamiya Tomcat in 1/48 scale. So let's see what's involved in here and why would you want to consider buying something like this. Okay, so you got these little packets. They don't do a lot of things in, I guess you call them detail improvements. There's photo-etched and there's some machined aluminium parts. There's a lot of third-party companies that do these, also resin parts. But with Tamiya, because Tamiya always has the philosophy of good quality kits which are not overly complicated. So whereas a lot of different companies did a lot of multimedia, Tamiya make it as an option because not everyone wants to put all this extra work in. So with their option parts, they've got the parts that they consider be the most important. Okay, so you've got some little probes here, and then there's photo-etched, which is for rear vision mirrors in the canopy, and then also the seat belts. So let's just open it up and have a closer look at what's involved. Okay, so you got a little packet, you got the instruction manual on the back, and then I'll pop that over here. Take it all open and let's pull it out and see what we got. Okay, so these all the parts on a card to keep them nice and safe. We've got a little note here, so how to use or how to treat photo-etched parts, how to cut them and such. A little instruction manual. And then we've got the larger instruction manual here as well to show you exactly where all the parts go. Okay, so I'll put that aside and we'll have a look at that later. We will look at all the parts now, and I'll just zoom in so you can have a better idea of what we're looking at. Okay, so across the top here, we've got these aluminium probes, okay, or sensors. Now, they're made in aluminium because they can come to a finer point, and a plastic one's included will look a bit chunky. So for a little bit more finesse, they've included these, very beautifully machined from aluminium. And then we have the photo-etched fret. Okay, so if we look on the side, it's quite a thin fret. And what we have here is we've got all the seat belts, so multiple seat belts for the two seats. And then over here, these are actually the rear vision mirrors for the pilot and co-pilot, and they're glued onto the inner frame of the canopy. So you see it all the way one across the top here. And seatbelts are one of those things that are very noticeable when you're looking inside a cockpit. They are quite fiddly to fit in. So usually within the kit, you'll get the pilots and they already have the seatbelts on them. But if you wanted to do an open cockpit with no pilots, then these will add so much more detail. You see how nicely machined they are. You see how there's a different reflection coming off. You've got a dull section. So that means that that's a two-part etching. So the first part etches all the way through, and then the second etching is etching to get more three-dimensional look. So that's actually a little bit thinner where it looks dull. Okay, let's have a look at the manual and see where all these sorts of bits go. If I open that up a bit. Okay, let's look at the manual here. Alright, so we've got recommended tools. These particular flat pliers are always very handy. These help you bend the photo-etched, particularly with the, I think with the rear vision mirrors, but you might have to do some bends. So here we go here. This is the alpha probe, which is that pointy aluminium part, goes right into the nose. So there's actually two probes included, one's for a spare, because as you can imagine, this could be quite easy to lose. If you drop them in the carpet, it'll be gone forever. So it's good that they give you two of those. With the rear vision mirrors, you can see here how the tabs are folded at 90 degrees, and that's where these flat type pliers help. So Tamiya make these sorts of pliers, and then there's also other brands as well, like God Hand. Here's the location of the rear vision mirrors, and there's a plan view as well, so you make sure you get them in the right spots. Now on the opposite side, we start getting into all the seat belts. Okay, so there's different versions of seat belts for the different versions of F-14 Tomcat. So across the top here, we've got the F-14A type and F-14B type. Okay, so you follow these instructions. For the later D type, they've got slightly different shaped ones here. So in a way, it's actually 2 sets or full sets that you can do. So you can do 2 aircraft. So if you had a F-14A or an F-14B, and then you also had an F-14D, this photo-etched set will cover both. So that's quite versatile. And that's pretty much it. So pretty simple little things, adds a lot of detail, and then it comes on this little card. Quite handy. So there you go. So there's my quick review on the Tamiya 1/48 scale detail up parts, which are for the F-14 Tomcat. So F-14 will suit the A, B or D, and it includes the seatbelts and the alpha sensors. So there you go. If you want some extra detail, give these a go. So thank you very much for watching.